Loose cannons.
Here over here.
We are back in the building.
Okay.
Man, for another episode.
Yo.
Listen, if you're a Loose Cannons fan, friend, family, or even foe, the Loose Cannons are doing something different.
Yes,
we're going
we
to 2 a week.
Ooh.
Nobody asked for it, but we're doing it anyway.
Yo, we doing as many as we can.
We're doing it 2 a week.
Yeah.
So we're going to break it down. We're going to do our cultural commentation.
Yes.
In 1 episode per week, and then we're going to do a movie review a week.
Yes.
And then anything we decide to add.
I mean, by the end of the week, we're going to have 7 a week.
That's what I'm saying. Just
I like it.
And no other work. We're not going to do anything else but just sit here with people like TMZ and just cultural commentate.
I like it.
You didn't ask for it, but we're going to do it anyway.
We going to give it to you.
Let's kick it off right.
Hey.
I'm No Justin No Peace.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
And we are the Loose Cannons.
Welcome.
And every week we sit down together and we cultural commentate.
Yes.
We talk about today's pop culture,
yes.
politics,
yes.
and movies and how they all intersect. Today, we got a great show for you today.
Yeah, we got a crazy show today.
Crazy. A lot went on.
Yes, it did.
In social media.
Yep.
A lot going on in the world.
Okay.
Listen, when we started this show,
yeah,
we were an advocate. We were using this product.
Yes, we were.
We were using Movie Pass, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, Movie Pass. For those of y'all who don't know, we was paying what, $9.99? $9.99 a month.
Apparently, before we did it, used to be like $30.
Really?
It was $30 at one point.
See, we came in at the right time.
We
right?
did come in, or did we?
We came and we left at the right time.
Yes.
So for $9.99 a month, you could see as many movies as you wanted.
As many movies as you want.
Yo, you just go on your app. Boom, 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 boom.
You can see what was it, 1 a day?
1 a day.
So for $10, technically, you can see 30 movies a month.
Right, exactly.
And if you have the time that certain people have, some people will see 30 movies a month.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't even know if there's 30 movies, but technically you could rewatch movies.
Right.
But at least there's like 10, 15.
Right. So the problem with that model was that Movie Pass didn't have any movie theaters.
Yes, and they didn't have any deals.
Right. So basically all they were doing was they were just going to pay the movie theater for us to go watch movies.
They pay $15 every time.
Every time you went to the movie.
And we only pay $10 a month.
For the month.
Listen, okay. I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson. I consider myself a high-level thinker.
Yes.
I'm no astrophysicist.
Yes.
I can't do certain complex math. You know, I did calculus. I did well. Right. Statistics, I did well. But I can see mathematically how there could be a problem with me paying $10 and them paying $15 for just one movie.
Right.
But then if I keep going, I don't give them any more.
But they still gotta pay.
That doesn't. So basically, they were trying to run the Planet Fitness model.
Right.
Except people don't fall off of watching movies like they fall off of their New Year's resolutions.
Right. I'm going to work out every day.
That's it. No.
So, and then the other thing was they were in hopes that there would be so many people that they would start to get deals. And they would start to get these endorsements. And then it didn't happen.
It did not happen.
So I think that you had hit me up one day and you was like, yo, is your Movie Pass working?
The only thing this thing is good for. Thanks, Movie Pass.
Wasn't working, dog. And then remember, I think one of the movies we went, I think I ended up paying, I think it was, what's his name? Tom Cruise movie, the Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I paid for Mission Impossible because I think I went to the one in Randolph instead of AMC. So it was happening then. But that was when they said they weren't going to allow you to watch like first week, second week.
You're gonna watch first week. Then the stipulations started coming out.
Yes,
you know, and then it was like, all right, well, you could go and watch the first, you could watch the matinee.
Yeah,
because we could cover that.
Yes,
we can't cover your midnight movie anymore.
Yep.
But so what happened this week? I mean, we found out why it wasn't working.
Well, we felt something happening, but now we know that within the company, they were telling people, nah.
Yo, go log in and change their password.
Not even like change the algorithm so it just wouldn't work. Change their password straight up. Like, so you would go in and your password would be changed, and then you're trying to log in.
So that you could get your ticket.
So you get your ticket, you get locked out, and by the time you're trying to log in,
No.
the movie's already
Good
started,
starting.
so you
Can't
can't.
even get your ticket.
And then you try to call the number, and they're horrible service, and they just keep transferring you to people. It was a whole game.
Yo, man, was it the dude from Fire Festival?
I think it was Wells Fargo. I think Wells Fargo owns MoviePass.
Yo, oh my god!
I heard when you call, they're like, "Do you want to open another bank account?" Yo, it's crazy out here.
But it was, I mean, it was the bargain of the century. It was.
It was.
But I mean, now, I mean, no endorsements, but we're both on AMC, A-listers, and I mean, 3 movies a week.
Imagine you set something up and you're like, you know what? I want a lot of people to use this,
Yeah.
and then you're like, too many people using this. What?
Yeah.
But we found the light.
Yeah.
AMC Stubbs list for life.
We were saved.
We were saved.
We see the light
saved
now.
because it's very expensive to do what we do, watching movies consistently.
Watching up to 3 movies a week.
First of all, we got to find a way for somebody to pay for our snacks.
Right. Yo, you can say that again.
Snacks, yo. Listen, I'm telling you, something's coming up. We're gonna have to do like what is it? A Patreon.
Yeah.
Listen, follow us. Let us know if you'd be interested in supporting the Loose Cannons and their content.
Yes.
We possibly be doing a Patreon to keep this content going.
Okay, I like it. If we paid for movies and we watched 3 movies a week,
Yes.
that's almost $200.
Easy.
Just movies.
Easy.
And we paid $20, so I'm cool with that.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yo,
AMC Stubbs list, that's
this
the way
is
to
whole
go.
Thing. You know the thing that got me? It was the thing where I went to New York once.
Yeah.
And I went to the IMAX theater uptown.
Uh-huh.
And one ticket was $25. Whoa. And I said,
We're in a
I
different
just,
world.
Yo, I just paid for what I paid monthly. I just got my ticket. You know, like that was it.
That's it.
So I was just like, oh, this is a win-win.
That's it. And yeah, IMAX is included.
Yeah. IMAX 3D, whatever you want.
Sponsor us, Stubbs list, AMC Stubbs list. I'm putting this out,
Yes.
and we're gonna tag them,
I
up.
like to see
AMC
what they
Stubbs
say.
list.
See what they say.
Listen, Movie Pass.
Yes.
They was doing a standoff with the tickets,
They sure was one day.
and motherfuckers had a standoff with the police in Philly for 7 hours.
Yo, 7? I thought it was like 8. I mean, I wouldn't know.
I mean, you lose count.
I seen the news coverage and it was daytime. By the time it ended, it was
My
nighttime. I
goodness.
was like, okay.
Listen, I mean, first of all, let's move all the movie shit aside,
Right.
okay? Because the movies will have you think that the police could just like
Yo.
transition in. I don't watch too many SWAT movies. Bring
Yeah.
the SWAT team in.
Exactly.
No, when there's one direction in,
And that's
one
it.
out, you're in a bad
You seen
situation.
dude climb down the stairs. I was like, ooh. Yeah, it was.
Oh, when he rolled out because he
Yeah.
got hit, that was scary.
I was just like, whew.
Damn,
He's
a hero.
Those
For even
Philadelphia,
going.
those Philadelphia row houses,
Man, what you gonna
You could
do?
only go in the front door.
that's it.
So I don't know.
7-hour standoff. There's some people talking in Philly. Of course, after every situation, there's going to be some things that are going around.
Right.
Because everybody was like, oh my goodness, it was a black guy.
Did they have a warrant for his arrest? It was something.
This is very interesting.
Okay.
This is the stuff that's going around. They're saying the warrant wasn't for that house.
No, it wasn't.
So, but they served the warrant of the other house. It's some stuff that's going
Wrong address?
No, it wasn't that they
Oh.
went into the wrong address. It's that they decided to also go into that address. That's what this dude is saying that's online. I don't know that for sure. But there was a warrant that they were serving in that neighborhood. but there's a possibility that they were trying to do extra, and they got extra.
Yeah.
Which is horrible.
Extra.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
But damn. But you know what? It just serves like, why we're still doing these drug warrants and these drug busts, and it's like the only danger is presented because we have it as illegal, and we want to cavalierly come. How do we not expect? I'm surprised that there's not that standoffs every other hour.
Right, exactly.
For every drug bust. First of all, that means they're knocking on doors on some real peaceful drug dealers.
Right. Because the whole thing is, you know, usually they're either getting someone on the way out, getting someone on the way in, or getting them away from their home. You know,
at the end of the day, if I'm gonna face 50 years, you might think about busting some guns on the way to people in the door.
You're right. But yo, I mean, I do commend Philadelphia police.
Wow, man,
for actually getting him to surrender. Right,
surrender, not dead.
Surrender. Take him peacefully, from what I've seen. So
that was amazing.
I commend.
That may be the one thing that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
A lot of people got injured doing it.
We don't usually get to commend police departments.
We don't.
So I'm very proud to be. Okay.
Listen,
like
Philly, stand up.
Yeah. Hearts go out to those who are hit.
Man,
no one.
No one's dead.
Right?
No one's dead. But I mean, the experiencing something like that is I feel like it's going to end up being a lifelong process of processing through that, because I think most officers don't experience getting shot at or getting shot or even having to pull their gun. These officers had to do all of them, and man, they came out alive. Thank God they came out alive. But this is what policing is supposed to be. This is why we call them heroes. Right. You know, they are heroes because they went in a dangerous situation and they still apprehended the suspect.
Right. They looked out for each other, helped the community. That's what they're supposed to
Kept
do.
the community safe. Listen, kept the community safe. All right, listen. We need to crack open the Banks beer for this young lady. Where's the Mount Gay rum?
Yo, for the money.
Oh, Nana. What's my name?
Yo, for the money.
Who would have known umbrellas would do all of this?
Yo,
man.
Right. But we're just starting to see that it is not all about the music.
It's not.
She's a musician, though, so
yes,
I'll take it.
She's a musician.
Rihanna is the wealthiest woman in music.
Whoa.
I mean, wealthiest.
So wait, what happened to Beyonce?
Wealthiest.
What happened to
wealthiest.
Nicki Minaj?
Wealthiest.
Madonna.
Wealthiest.
My gosh, beyond Rihanna.
Wealthiest. So she's
Ponder replay, Rihanna.
Wealthiest.
Whoa.
2018, she brought in about $37.5 million, which is
hold on. I gotta put how many zeros is that?
Too many. $37.5 million in 2018, which is a far cry from what she normally makes.
Whoa.
But it's because she's now in the fashion industry.
Fenty Beauty. And that the Puma situation.
So let's start this year. She started Fendi Mason with the same company, LVMH.
Yeah.
And
LVMH is Louis Vuitton.
I don't know what that
Moet, something. It's that.
But
they own Moet, they own Louis Vuitton.
But this is the first. This is the first company that they started from scratch.
Really?
So literally, like almost every single, and she's brought out something
with the right people
every year. So this came out in May 2019. 2018, she came out with Savage X, which is an online-based laundry company. Lingerie company.
Oh,
not laundry. Okay. Sorry, lingerie.
I was about to say, damn, I need some drawers washed.
Not just drawers, you need some drawers washed.
What?
Yo, in the first 40 days, made $100 million. $100 million.
What?
$100 million in the first 40 days.
Damn.
In 2017, came out with Fendi Beauty.
Yep.
In the first 15 months, so that's from May 2017 to almost the beginning of 2019, made $570 million.
Okay. Where's her TED Talk?
Yo,
I need to understand.
She's now valued at $600 million.
Damn. What's her name? Oh, Nana.
So I mean, when you got stuff going on like this, maybe you don't turn back to music. Maybe it's the reason why, from Jay-Z, you're going to only hear an album every other year. Kanye's going to take a couple years off. Now you see why people are starting to leave the music industry. I'll come back. I'll do a song here and there. But, this is where the money really is.
Like, literally, it seems like music is literally, it gives you your starter money, your starter millions, and it builds a huge brand.
Right.
And damn, we need a mixtape.
You're right.
We need a mixtape.
I'm about to start. Look, I'm gonna go out there with my little drive.
Yo,
not even. I'm gonna have a little tap. I'm gonna just tap the music.
Hot fire, $10.
Dylan.
Hot fire. Loose Candace mixtape.
Hey, okay, I like it. But I mean, look, that's what more aspirations do you need as a child? Looking up to actually some sort of role model who's doing more with what they're capable of doing.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I think we need to hear more stories on what it is that she's doing, where her inspiration came from, and man, she's doing it. Right. It's so funny because it's like it really is real. Like we live in a sexist world. Women don't get as much love for their business acumen. Like any other person who would have been doing this, we praise everybody. We praise 50 Cent. We praise Jay-Z. We praise Kanye, Puffy. I mean, come on, like, and I'm pretty sure she's doing better, especially in a smaller amount of time than any of those brands that they built were doing. Over the course. So it's like, man, listen, Rihanna, you got it. You got it, boo. You got it, girl. You got it, girl. You got it. Listen.
We're going to speak about ambition. We can't leave this guy out, huh? It's the Rock.
She signed to Rock Nation, right?
She sure is. So that means that she's going to make even more money with this contract too.
Okay, listen, everybody, relax. Relax. We're gonna spend some time. This is the breakdown.
All right.
This is the breakdown. Jay-Z.
Yes.
Our New York brother.
Hey.
Listen. Came out a couple of days ago.
Yes.
He has
a partnership
with
the NFL.
Uh-huh.
And it's got, I mean, as much as there's not a lot of media talking about all the things that are incorporated in this partnership.
Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of went through it, and they've actually explained it all in the interview and everything.
Okay.
So I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people are just missing it because they're just like, oh,
they're hearing other people talk about other people talk about.
They're like, oh, how could he?
Yeah.
Oh, this Uncle Tom, Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
Out here, Joe Camel out here making deals with the NFL.
Yes.
How could he? Cap still doesn't have a job.
So what you're saying is we cancel Jay-Z tonight? Is that what we're doing?
That's what people are doing. I'm not doing it. That's what people are doing. I mean, I can see why people are so riled up about it, but I mean, I'm not on the side.
There's no benefit to canceling Jay-Z, but there is benefit to breaking this whole situation down.
Agreed.
And everybody has a right to feel what they feel.
Correct.
But this is the one thing that I do have to say. Jay-Z is no god.
No, he's not.
Jay-Z is a capitalist. And I think some people have said it the best. Listen, the reason why you're having a nasty taste in your mouth is some people have a nasty taste for people who are shrewd capitalists. Correct. And rightfully so. Because at the end of the day, there are people who have different schools of thought. There are people whose school of thought is, you know what, integrity is everything. I'm not fucking with the NFL. And they got that right. And that's okay. And Jay-Z's school of thought seems to be, I'm going to make these strategic moves to line my pocket. And when I empower myself with the finances and go into these doors with the half races, which is different because there's full-blown races and then there's just people who just don't know any better, and you can change those people. Get in these doors and show what we can do. I'll be the representative and I can change things on the inside. Nobody's wrong. But at the end of the day, both people are losing things. The people who are super pro integrity generally end up broke.
Very true. They end up, honestly, usually losing their fight. And I hate to put it that way, but I feel like that is the most true statement out of here.
And the people who are pro capital and capital alone end up rich. And sometimes the social situation doesn't come from that. Right. But what I will say is people like Dr. King and Malcolm X, Dr. King and all of his movements had to be undergirded and funded by the people who were entertainers, who were making the millions. Correct. They were flying them around. They were giving them the money. Yep. So the truth is we got to realize we need each other.
Right. We need this balance.
Exactly. If Jay-Z's playing his role, let him play his role. Right. Get the coin. Because the truth is, where is he extracting the money from? The NFL is not funded by black people. Right. As far as ticket sales and as far as watches. Right. We may be the people that are on the fields. Right. So technically, there is a transfer of wealth to our community.
If you can't stop the players from going in, we can't really make the change.
That's it. They're already going to play.
And this is the whole thing. Everyone can say, like, just like you said, the whole pro integrity thing. The representation of our pro integrity idea has been Cap. Mm-hmm. But no one wants to recall that Cap settled, and they made money.
That's right.
So the whole thing is that we have no clue what that settlement is, or what goes on, because we could always say that, all right, well, he did this, but at the end of the day, we didn't find out till last year. But Nike was paying him for the 2 years.
That's it.
We didn't find out, but he had a bunch of endorsements during that time. We didn't find out until last year that he did settle for this. So did Reed.
Yes,
who does have a problem with what Jay-Z's doing right now. But the point being is that at 2017, when most of this was going on, after the first starting of kneeling in 2016, the NFL recovered in 2018.
Yes,
nobody wants to talk about that.
They're doing well.
So this is the point. The point being is that, like, right now, my biggest point has been, what was the next step in progression?
Yes.
And if it's just complaining that Cap doesn't have a job, complaining that he doesn't have a job is totally different from actually making a difference on that next level.
Yes.
And if you watch the interview, this is basically what Jay-Z's talking about. He's just like, everyone got upset that he's like, oh, we're past kneeling. It has nothing to do with being past kneeling. It has everything to do with now they're inviting us.
He shouldn't have said that.
Okay, I think we passed kneeling. I think it's time to go into actionable items. I think everyone knows what the issue is. And we're done with that. Everyone knows what you know what the issue is? You know why we were kneeling? Okay. Do you know the issue? Yeah. Do you know the issue? Yes? We all know the issue now. Okay, next. Where are we moving on next? And I'm not, again, so to be clear for the room, I'm not minimizing that part of it, because that has to happen. That's a necessary part of the process. But now we all know what's going on. What are we going to do? How are we going to stop? Because the kneeling was not about a job. It was about injustice. Let me bring attention to injustice. Everyone's saying, how are you going forward? And Cap doesn't have a job. This wasn't about him having a job.
He shouldn't have said that. That was one thing. But the thing is that, like, now you're actually invited to the table.
Yeah.
Because they see that, all right, well, every year it could be something. So the kneeling we recovered from.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl, nobody wanted to perform.
No.
So now there's like, all right, well, we have to do something.
Yes.
So I'm going to start listening to things that is part of this partnership.
Yeah.
So that you can see that it's not Jay-Z. Yeah. Like, it's not just Jay-Z. Yeah. And I put it that way. Like, everyone missed a lot.
Yes.
And for everyone who kind of attacked the NFL for the last couple of years, like, until I started researching things that they've done, like, it's a big reason why we were all anti-NFL, and we kind of missed certain things that the NFL did.
Yeah.
That was trying to, like, all right, well, one of the biggest things that they did was put out the Inspire Change program, which was at the end of 2017, because they already saw what was happening with kneeling. But the biggest reason why it slid under the radar is because Trump was the one who said that owners should be firing the players.
Gotcha.
So that whole thing,
and we're linking them all together,
right? And that kind of just slipped under the radar because the only owner who was actually against Cap at the time was Jerry Jones from the Cowboys.
That is true. He's the
all the other owners were the ones who were just like, let's get this back on the road. Let's get this back on track. So the one thing that this partnership does is puts Inspire Change in the hands of Rock Nation. And that was the biggest thing. It was just like, how are you going to get the voice of these players who are actually saying something that's actually in the league? Yeah. And how are you going to get that out to the masses so that they can actually see? So now that Rock Nation is kind of now going to have that helm, they can do that. part of the other thing is making promotional TV spots where they can actually do one with players, performers. But this is the whole thing. Now you have someone who's actually anchoring. Okay, these people in music who don't have access to these type of deals are now going.
These are huge deals.
Weekly.
Huge.
And everyone's just like, oh, it's Super Bowl. No, it's every performance that the NFL has
in
anywhere.
all different cities.
Mm-hmm. And the whole thing is like, you got to think there's 20 something games every week that could be anywhere.
Hip hop is the number one music art form right now.
Right.
Period. They want a piece of it.
Exactly. You're not just going to get, we can perform at the Super Bowl. You can perform every week.
Every week.
Every week you could be performing.
Yes. In your city too.
And the whole thing now is the Pro Bowl. They're going to do a whole big concert for the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're getting not only Super Bowl money, you're getting Pro Bowl money. It's just like, all right, so there's a whole big thing. It's just like, all right, well, Rock Nation now becomes co-producer of the Super Bowl halftime show. So now that money's going to be, obviously it's just like, oh, well, he's going to get it. It's just like, what more Rock Nation does besides the whole, like, all right, well, whoever's at the
sports
head,
agency.
Right, exactly. It's just, it connects so many more things that people are missing out. Like, this is the point. If you wanted a part of that NFL money, this is the exact kind of deal that you needed to do. This is definitely
a part of that money.
So it's just like, and the whole thing is, it's just like, oh, he sold out. Who was getting that money before?
Who?
It was like, it's either some department team, 10, sorry to say, but white guys sitting in the office.
Yes.
Or it was going to the owners because they was deciding themselves.
Yep.
Now a big portion of that is going to go to how many other people of color?
Huge.
So
who you think he's going to hire? Maroon 5 again?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just assuming that they're just mad because, all right, well, Cap's not getting that money.
This is the thing. Okay. We got to understand the difference between integrity and pride.
Right.
Pride is dangerous. Integrity is always the right way to go. A lot of people are being prideful because there has been things that have gone wrong in the NFL. But if you think that all the black players right now are just going to walk out today and start a whole new league and the NFL won't be the NFL, that's not true. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars that are tossed around in this organization. They're making how many billions of years? $1 billion a year, $10 billion a year, something like that. So that doesn't happen tomorrow. It won't happen tomorrow. You won't rival the NFL. And the fact is, everybody's not on the same page to move and take it somewhere else. There's so many different leagues that are around right now that get no view. None of everybody's talking about they're going to watch a whole nother league with all the black players. You ain't even watching the XFL. You ain't watching arena football. And it's free on television. You already pay for it. Exactly. You don't watch it. You don't even DVR it to watch it later. So stop it. Yeah, exactly. This is the biggest game. And guess what? We already flooded. If it's about people of color, we already flood the sport. This is already our league.
Right.
What does the change have to happen at the office level?
Exactly.
At the executive level. And where can he get in? His bargaining chip is, I am a master in this already. I'm the number one in music. The number one music, hip hop music. I'm the number one. I'm on everybody's list. Right. And this is my foot in the door, and this is what I can create for you. Oh, okay. Now he's creating these relationships. Comes out 2-3 days later, he's going to be a part owner in the team. This all sounds great. But this is my fear of the situation. Is Jay-Z playing the best game of chess ever? Or is he getting played in this situation? And this is the only situation that I bring up. Barclays in Brooklyn.
Right.
The community got played.
Right.
Now, was Jay-Z also played? Or did he know what was going to happen? Because there were a lot of promises. There were a lot of promises for things that were going to happen in the community with developing the Barclays Center, which is another reason why Amazon didn't happen, because everybody's seen what happened with Barclays. They changed the whole environment, and not for the people who were already there.
Right.
Prices have skyrocketed. People's businesses have had to move out that were 10 blocks away. change Fulton Avenue all the way around. It's not even going in the same direction that it has the whole time I was growing up. I'm still salty about that.
I feel you, player.
Now, we have to decide at that moment, was Jay-Z making a calculated move that he knew that this negative thing was going to potentially happen, this gentrification that was going to happen, that he talked about in his music, but yet he wanted to get in the door so that he can be a part of the business and make these business relationships? Or did they play him in the long run because he thought he was going to get more out of the deal than he was expecting?
Honestly, what I think happened was that simple. We've seen it in movies all the time. It's gonna happen with you or without you.
With you or without you.
And it was kind of like, I think that when he was sold on it,
Either roll or get rolled on.
right? When he was sold on it, it was just like, oh, this is gonna be so good for everyone.
Yeah.
And then when he finally saw the pieces happening, I think this is one of the reasons why. Because if you know what happened with him even before he started the whole sports agency,
Yeah.
if he would have stayed, he would have made so much more money. And he bailed early.
He did
because
bail early.
I think that the moment that he got his investment back, he made a little bit of money. He sold it because he was like, I'm gonna just take a different path, because he could have been envisioned as so much more of a bad guy.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it was all about the money, I think that he would have just stayed, because he would have easily sold for. I mean, I can't even. He had sold his portion to Jason Kidd, I think, something crazy, in order to do the sports agency, because he couldn't have both at the same time.
Got you.
So he was just like, all right, well, if I do this,
Yep.
I can do something else and make some money. So
Got it.
I don't
Okay,
know, though.
this is another question. Okay, so with this, right, it always goes, I kind of hate this saying, and I love the saying all at the same time. It's like, they always like, Jay-Z's playing chess, while you niggas is playing checkers. All right, first of all, stop disrespecting the game of checkers, because if you played it at a high level, you would understand that any game any game could be played at a high level. Right? And the one thing about chess is that people got to realize, when you're playing chess, there's only going to be one winner. So if Jay-Z's playing chess, he's playing chess as the king. And the only piece that matters on that board is the king, even to the point where the king will sacrifice the queen to save himself. The queen to save himself. So the only piece that matters is the king. So chess is not a communal game. So if we're talking about us doing things together as people of color, as a community, chess is the wrong analogy to use. Because if he is playing chess in this situation, you are essentially saying that he is being selfish and is trying to enrich himself. Okay? So boom. So when we talk about games, we have to think about communal games and what that means. And it doesn't matter what game you're proficient at. It matters what game you're entering into. So if the person who's playing checkers, if you bring a chess mindset, you're going to lose. If you're playing Connect Four, you bring a Uno mindset, you're going to lose. Not everybody's playing chess or checkers. It does not matter. The game that we're deciding that we're supposed to be playing is a communal game. We're playing a communal game together. We're playing rugby. We're making sure that person is back, and we're pitching it back, and we're progressing forward. So with that said, we just have to give time, and I hope that Jay-Z turns around and pitches the ball back to his other teammates and creates other situations for other people. Because right now, it's up in the air.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Do you think, like, I always look at these, when you make great advancements in anything, like, there's always some trade-off. That's all I always think about.
Yeah, true.
And so I always think about, like, how much are you willing to lose in order to win?
gain. Yeah.
You're right. So that's why one of my biggest things is, especially with this scenario, is when people are just like, oh, well, this is wrong, this, that, and the other. The one thing I'm failing to recognize is what was the next step in progress for us?
What was it?
Like, everyone's just like, oh, well, Cap doesn't have a job, this, that, and the other.
It wasn't about Cap's job. It was why he lost the job.
Right.
And he lost the job because of the protest for something that is noble.
Right. So the whole thing is how far are we going to go with thinking that we have to continue to support Cap to get our message across? Because at this point, I don't have a problem. Like, all right, the NFL would just wait us out. Because Cap will age past a point where he can't get a job
do anything.
regardless.
Can't do anything.
So then what is our next step? To mourn the fact that he didn't get an opportunity again?
Yeah, I think that's what some people want.
That's the whole thing. Like,
yeah.
us standing in place doesn't give us more progress.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is like, that's why I'm thinking to myself, like, this is something that has to be done.
Yeah.
This sort of thing, because not that we need to change voices, but the fact that we need to have multiple figures who can continue to progress to make that next step. Yep. Okay, this is that next step. Okay, so then the next step were, okay, the first black owner.
Yes.
Okay, so then we got the first black owner.
Yeah.
And then we have to, okay, so the whole building office from top to bottom, GM, director of sports, that whole team is black.
Down to interns.
Right.
Because those are the next set of people.
And that's the whole thing. It's just like, we can't make those two steps following Cap. That's the whole thing. We can't make those next two steps following Cap.
Because if he gets his job back, what?
Yeah. Okay. He got a job back. All right, cool. So then the whole thing is, so what do we do now?
Yes.
Because the whole thing is, all right, if his biggest job is, let's bring awareness to this.
Yes.
Yo, he was successful.
He won.
Right. What's the next step? Like, that's the whole thing.
We're still talking about it.
Right. We got that part.
Yes.
We need to. Okay, look, we have hit him so hard.
Yes.
They said, "Yo, can you come to the table?
Yeah.
Please, because we need to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we can't grow as much as we could grow.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Like that. He said this in an interview. He was just like they welcomed us to the table. That's usually the next step. Like,
that's usually. I think this is why we're having the problem. I think that inviting those media people to have these conversations and have these questions was a good first step.
Right.
It needed an in-depth follow-up because no matter what, he should have expected this backlash in part, even if it wasn't going to be from individuals who actually had good intentions.
Right.
It was going to be somewhat of a backlash. And his words that he used in the moment sounded a little cavalier. I'm moving in the way that I'm moving. Right. He never should have brought it as if
he sounded like he was from New York. He was like,
he never should have brought it as if he was the one that was kneeling also, like, you know, what are we doing next? Like, you weren't involved in that part first. So don't approach it like that. I actually do believe that he has noble intentions, but it requires another step. He should sit down with a person like Roland Martin, Charlemagne, whoever, and actually sit down for an hour and a half. You don't have to tell the details of the deal because that is business. Right. And I believe those individuals will respect that. But at least help us understand what you're thinking about, where you want to go with this type of future. And just basically pat people on the back and say, listen, no, guys, I'm with you. Right. I'm with you. I'm not disrespecting Cap. I'm not disrespecting Cap because he kind of had his foot in and out where it was like, you're saying you're not, but it's kind of like you're stepping on it.
So this is my problem with it because I definitely got what he's doing because, all right, let's say this is my idea, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm explaining to y'all while people are watching me explain this to you.
Wow, yeah.
So if I'm telling y'all, yo, like, we're going to go in this direction because we kind of got to. But now, when the one thing that I really got was when he was like, oh, we got full autonomy of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So this is my whole thing. All right, so now we're going to do all these commercials. We're going to do all these things.
It's huge.
Now,
it's
look,
huge.
The whole thing is, I don't need pre-approval.
I don't.
So the whole thing
is... I'm hiring who I'm hiring.
If I do these next 16 weeks of commercials just with a black fist, who's going to say no?
They already
That's
out.
the whole thing. Like,
but
I can't say this now.
Yes.
You understand what I mean?
You can't.
So the whole thing is, all right, I'm going to bring a whole black performance to, whatchamacallit, to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I can't say all this now.
No.
You have to see what's going to happen.
Especially if you're the one, if Rock Nation is the one that's saying, this is who we want. This is who we want. Not can we be a part? Can we be a part? Or waiting for the call.
Exactly.
It's Jay.
Right.
It is Jay. This is
making
huge.
The call. Right.
No matter what, if Jay, this is the thing. If Jay is just being a capitalist, and I say Jay because we're from New York, so we're close.
Oh,
I mean, if Jay exclusively
Sean, you know
wants
Sean from
Sean,
down
if
the
Sean
block?
exclusively wants us for title,
Right.
we will be over on title.
Right.
But if he's just being a capitalist, this move is still a huge advancement.
Exactly.
In part, just for the artists that he will pull. Just for the artists that he would bring and then give them huge exposure. People got to understand. It's hundreds of millions of people are tuning in to watch this game. It's huge exposure.
Right.
Huge. And like, I think like Amanda Seales said it right. We just kind of got to wait.
Right.
And then listen, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, it's not looking right.
Right. You know,
Then you can say what you want.
The one thing that I kind of look at, and I'm just like, if you wanted to make the biggest move possible, and he's what, 50 something? Mm-hmm. All right. And you think that in 20 years you can make the biggest move you could possibly make.
Yeah.
But you got to build up Rock Nation to be as valuable as Time Warner.
Huge.
Something ridiculous.
Yes. To have a huge contract.
Right.
That says a lot.
At a certain point, when you can sell this media company
Yeah.
for whatever and buy a team or two, but the whole thing is like just having a media company means that you own ears.
Yeah.
You own motives. You
Yeah.
own agendas, and that's the idea. Like the point being is that the moment that you have a person's ear and you're capable of steering them a certain way, that's how people work.
Yep.
So
Not even that. You're right next to Roger Goodell. If you want a team and you're going to put together, if any, you understand what I'm saying? Like you're the closest right now to saying, listen, I got 4 of us. I got me, Magic Johnson, Puff, Ice Cube. We ready to go.
right, and I hate to put this, like this, but if we're gonna compare a 5-year stretch to a 5-year stretch, I'm gonna go with Jay. And I hate to put it that way because I mean, like, Cap has nailed. That's cool.
Yes.
But in the last 5 years, Jay has done how many documentaries?
Yes.
How
He's
many
proven-
times? How many
he's-
people
he's
has
said
he
a
gotten
lot.
out of jail?
Yes.
How many people has he paid for lawyers to do this? I mean,
And
like,
we have to also go back to this thing that you said at the top. Cap had a settlement.
right,
So we got to understand that at the end of the day, he also took money.
right.
He also took money in this situation. So we got to stop acting like, money is not a huge part of it always.
Right.
We still got, like, you can't be a poor protester.
Right. You cannot.
You'll be stuck protesting outside your house.
I compare, I guess, these mindsets to the same thing. I mean, not these people.
Yeah.
But the idea that, like, X and King both had the same goal.
Yes.
But they have different ways of doing it.
Definitely.
And going about it.
Yes.
And you have a group of people who's following X.
Yes.
A group of people who are following King. And you have even external agendas of other people, which neither one of them supported the Black Panthers. So neither one of them supported the Black Power movement. So it's just like you can see how all these other things,
Yes.
how we all trying to get to the same place.
Yes.
But everyone's got a different method of doing it.
It's true.
And I mean, not saying nothing. Maybe it's because I'm from New York also. I can understand where, like, yo, you get inside and you bust that thing wide open and we could all rush the door.
all rush in.
Cool, I'm with it.
Yeah.
And while other people are just like, nah, they need to know who we are, who we fighting for, and how we fighting. And just like, they're going to be ready for us.
Yeah.
You understand what
Don't
I mean?
don't show your hand.
Right.
Don't show your hand. And it's definitely a possibility that's what Jay-Z's doing. It's not showing his hand.
Right.
Okay? Unless your hand is full of food stamps and a green card. You like that segue?
Yes, I like that
seg-
segue.
Okay, listen. That was this week in social media, guys. Every week we do social media and we find topics, and we also have another segment, This Week in Racism.
Yeah.
Okay, last week we were talking about the ICE raids in Mississippi, and there was an update. So the federal government is now saying they don't want people who have a visa,
Who are on green cards. To have food stamps.
to have food stamps.
So, and I mean, again, I hate to put it this way, such a small portion
Such.
that people don't realize.
What are
they're
we
just
fighting
like,
for?
It's the idea that like, oh, these people are stealing so much money from us, and it's just maybe your neighbor who's home with a fake disability claim and kids and has been a citizen her whole life is stealing your money.
Probably stealing way more. But this is the big problem, right? It's like the people have made the narrative. People are coming here for the food stamps.
Right.
Maybe this person's been here 5 years, had a job, everything was going right, and then they lost the job.
Right.
Just like everybody else is losing jobs in America, and they need to fucking eat. Mm-hmm. So because now they need to eat, we're going to send them back?
Yeah.
Like, that's just so crazy. That's just so crazy. It's not even about, it's giving people something to argue about, because it's not even something to argue about. It's the percentage of false claims is so negligible, period. But then when you look at that, people got to realize most of the federal budget does not go to food stamps.
Right.
I think it was the person said 10 cents a day. The average person who makes $50,000 is putting into food stamps, $36 a year. So if you take away this food stamp, you won't even see the difference. You don't get money back. They don't return money. Hey, the food stamp people were stealing, so here's your $5 back. You don't see a damn thing. Most of the money that we spend in taxes is going to war. It's going to the military industrial complex. It's not going to food stamp recipients, even if it doubles in the amount of people who are faking their need. Listen, if you go that far enough, right, to fake your need for food stamps, do you really think that person is rich?
Right. Exactly.
Do you think Puff Daddy, if you, ladies and gentlemen, really think about it. If you had $1 million in the bank, or if you were making $250,000 or $500,000 a year, you would worry about faking for food stamps. The only people who can possibly be lying are people who are on the border. Right. Like if the average person who's receiving food stamps is $25,000 a year, the people who are making $40,000 a year are probably are faking to receive food stamps for $50,000 a year. Even in that, those people are not rich.
Right.
And they're not getting more than $100 and something a month, guys.
And when you say 40,000, you mean 40,000 family. Like it's
family
not even,
household.
It's not even one
This
person.
is not huge money. This is not huge money, guys.
There needs to, in their eyes, there needs to be a villain for the situation that America is in. And if you wanted to go, maybe the politicians are just painting a picture.
Yes.
So that you don't ask why all this other money's over here.
Why?
Right. It's crazy that like people don't have, they're just like, oh, well, it's these people stealing the money.
Yes.
And it's, the same argument all the time. You're letting people who make hundreds and $1,000s an hour tell you what to do about people who are making less than $10 an hour.
Crazy.
If you're closer to those group of people, don't you think that maybe it's the people who are trying to tell you that those are
American, people think they're going to turn around and be a millionaire tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so they want to save on their taxes later. I'm going to save on my taxes in a couple of years. Asshole. Listen, leave these fucking people with their food stamps alone.
I can't, man.
People are out there hungry. We should be increasing food stamp benefits, not decreasing food stamp benefits. Listen, but other people are out here doing the right thing.
Yes, you're right.
And being kind.
Yes, they are.
This week on social media, you sent it to me.
Yes. Did I send it to you or you sent it to me? One of us.
We lose.
We got the one Killing with Kindness video.
That's right. Killing with kindness.
Oh, go ahead.
So, young lady, she pulls up to the drive-thru and she's passing the lady a gift to the drive-thru and she's explaining to her. She's like, "Hey, I drove you here earlier. I'm your Uber driver."
Remember me, Diane?
Yes, I think so, honey. Right now, I don't know. I probably do.
Diane, so this morning I gave you an Uber ride to work.
Oh, yes.
And we had a conversation earlier.
Yes, we did.
And you said that you was waiting for Christmas so that you can get house shoes and some other stuff, right?
Yes.
All right, so you don't got to wait till Christmas. Okay? So I bought you a dress.
Oh, my God.
Here's the dress.
Oh, thank you.
Because you
so
said
much,
you needed
honey.
something to wear to church. Those are probably the people behind me.
Okay.
But that's your dress so you can wear it to church.
Oh, you're so sweet.
If you don't like it, the gift receipt is in there. It's from Old Navy. And then here's a $50 Visa gift card. So So you can take that and get your house shoes and your robe when it's time, okay?
Thank you so much. This has been such a horrible day. You just made my whole day so much better.
You're very, very
God bless
welcome.
You, sweetheart.
You're welcome. So, and I heard you get off at 6:30.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a ride home, so I'm going to be waiting on the side, okay?
Thank you so
Right.
You know, we were having a conversation. You were talking about something you were looking forward to for the holiday.
Right.
And for the holiday, you were looking forward to house slippers and house shoes and a dress for
and a dress
church.
for- right, exactly.
Simple things that this lady who's working at a fast food restaurant was looking forward to from the holidays.
Right, and it's summer.
It
It's
is summer.
summertime. Yeah.
So this Uber driver decided that she said, you know what? I guess I'm gonna be a blessing to this lady.
Mm-hmm.
So she went and purchased some of those things and brought it back
got
to
her a gift card.
and got her a gift card, brought her a dress, a gift card for her to be able to go get the house shoes and stuff like that.
And then told her that she'll be there waiting for her when she got out. of
I'll
work
take you
and
home.
Take her home. I was just like,
Free of charge.
ooh, okay.
Look at that.
Yeah. It's just the things that people are capable of doing for the next person.
Yes.
And this mentality is what we need more of.
Open up your heart.
and less of what
Open
we
up
just
your heart.
spoke about. It's just crazy.
The lady who essentially we're fighting shouldn't even make $15 an hour.
Right.
Minimum wage is looking forward to house shoes and a dress to wear to church. That's what we're preventing.
Right.
That's what we're preventing when we're arguing for these corporations.
The crabs in a barrel.
Crabs in a barrel.
Pulling the next person down.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. But there are other people who are able to keep a level head and say, you know what, I'm going to do what I can do.
Have a good perspective on life.
That's it.
Try to pay it forward.
That's
you know?
right. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to put the video up if we didn't already. Yo,
we
this
here.
was a great episode.
Yes.
Like, listen, if you're new to the show or if you're old to the show, we have 2 shows a week now. All right. So it's going to be separated. We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about things that go on in the world. And then later this week, we're going to drop our movie episode.
Yes.
And this week we did Good Boys, written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
Yes.
So boom, listen. I'm No Justin, No Peace.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
And we are the Loose Cannons. And every week we sit down and we have a conversation about today's pop culture, politics, and movies and how they all intersect. See you guys on the next episode.
Yes.
Peace.